All right, this is a callback. This is a Bermuda yard. It's looking pretty good out in there. A big old yard. But I don't know, let me see if I can make this work. He's got a few things that aren't dead, and then he's got this big patch right here. And he guesses what the deal with that is if it even shows up on the camera. It's very obvious. Dummy missed a spot. I guess I didn't spray that at all. Oh well. What's going on, guys? This is one of my new Fescue customers. I picked him up at the beginning of the year. I put the house in some videos, but man, it looked okay when we got it. It just needs some filling in and some color to it and a couple weeds taken out. But I'm happy with that, man. That looks strong. He mows it and he's thrilled, so I'm thrilled too. And then right next door, this is a good sign to me. I scalped this down with the walker. Can't remember if it was Monday or Thursday last week, but that's zoysia, and it's about ready. But right across the street here is one that I picked up a few weeks ago, and I put it in the video. Did the organic acids application. It has a ton of weeds in it, and it's gonna make some bare spots. You can see like right there where the weeds are out, but the color's coming in. It's growing, man. It's filling up some spots. I'll show you the back. I mean, it's got a ways to go. I can flip it around in a minute and I'll show you some close-ups on some of these thin spots. Hang tight. All right, there's the back. It's looking way better. I cheated though. I ran the DX8 on it twice since the first video I did. I did it in like 2 weeks later, ran another ½ pound on it. Just wasn't happy with it, dog. But anyway, I'll show you some close-ups of the front. We're definitely gonna have some bare spots in it. Okay, Operation Weed Burn Down is kind of going pretty good. I mean, it's been, I can't remember if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know, it's done pretty well. Just like to see it all gone. You see we're real thin right here where we burned it out. Might have to get the weasel, man, do some overseeding. Still got a little bit of stuff in there hanging on. And the dreaded poannua right there. Anyway, colors in it though. Okay, the reason we're seeing the big color response from the DX8, I mean, we're using, you know, the humic and the kelp and micros and all that stuff. That helps. But DX8 is got like 5% iron in it, and the nitrogen and potassium sources are a sulfate. So you're getting sulfur too, and sulfur will act kind of like iron and throw that color in there. So you're getting a double whammy, dog. Just ain't a lot I can even say. All right, a fescue program. Well, what worked for me might not work for you, and what works for this yard right here might not work for another yard I got. So there's just some basics that you know, you would want to start with. Start with selecting your right seed. Get one with a blue tag on it. That means you're guaranteed that what it says is in the bag is in the bag. Study the MTET trials for seeds with good vigor and color, and that will stand up to the conditions in your area. You know, you can get something like Kentucky 31. I mean, you pay a big price for it, but you're not going to get the color genetically out of it like you would something like this. This is top choice, and I went through 2 pallets of it this year, and both pallets had different varieties of grass in it, but I knew that they were all top ranked seed in the NTEP trial. So you start there. I mean, you can pound Kentucky 31 to death and you'll never get it, you know, double, I mean, what did I say? Ding dang dirty double dark, because it's just not genetically made up to be like that. Weed control in the winter time, man, triclopyr and some kind of ester 3-way, the speed zone, 2,4-D ester. I know some of the wolf pack guys like Cool Power or Shore Power. They don't have Shore Power here, so I've tried the other new farm with Change Up, and that works pretty good, and it'll give you a 2,4-D alternative there. As soon as it starts turning warmer, like even right now, it's what is it? It's the first week of April. I'm almost ready to back off any kind of triclopyr or anything. Go with something like a triplet or you know, some kind of amine 3-way or something. And I don't really like to blanket spray this fescue in the summertime. You kind of got to go with what your yard's telling you too. You know, like on most of my, well, on a handful of my fescue yards, I don't have a lot of fescue here anyway, I spoon fed them all winter long, and then they were growing and responding to the fertilizer all the way through about the second week or so of January. And then I noticed that, you know, it kind of shut down, so I didn't fertilize it while it was shut down. So, and if you live in an area where your grass is still responding, you could try that. But like I said, mine stopped, and then when it warmed up a little bit, mid-February or so, I picked it back up, and I was putting low rates on every few weeks. And I mean, there's one behind you, it looks okay. I like to use some ammonium sulfate as my nitrogen source. That is more soil stable, works better in cooler weather. And I have stopped fertilizing my fescue yards. I'll say that, but I picked up a new one that I might go ahead and fertilize this week if it won't rain on it. Anyway, different story. But if you've had it in program and been pushing it all winter, you could probably pretty much stop now and be okay. NC State has kind of gotten away from saying no nitrogen after St. Patrick's Day. They say you can put very, very, very light doses on it through the summer and be fine. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna stick with what I've got going so far. This kind of stuff, man, it's always a moving target. So just read up and pay attention, and do what the grass is telling you. Do what works on it in your area. So, I mean, I might have some yards that I do some things that I do to another one, and it not really respond to it, and I have to dig into the bag of tricks and try something else. Ain't no secret sauce, man. Just figure it out. The first thing you're gonna want to do to be sure you're gonna be successful is pull you a soil test so you can get your soil in balance. If your pH is wrong or low CECs, you'll know then, and you'll know how to work with it. For example, you know, if your pH is real low, you're not gonna be very successful on growing your turf. It pretty much goes for fescue or any other kind of turf. You want to be sure your pH is in range. If your CECs are low, that's going to kind of control how you're going to want to apply your nutrients. If the CECs are real low, you're going to want to go in with multiple, more frequent low doses of nitrogen and your other inputs. So, I mean, basically fescue, you get your right seed, you put out some phosphorus, humic, and kelp at seeding. When it comes up, start slapping it with the nitrogen. And I like to use the ammonium sulfate. It doesn't have to be 100% ammonium sulfate. I use that 1838, and it has some ammonium sulfate, some urea in it. I pound it all winter long with fertilizer. All winter long as the grass seems to be responding to it. And then when it starts to warm up, you got to back off the nitrogen, back off your harsher herbicides, and take care of it with a fungicide program. And we'll get more into a fungicide program when it gets fungicide time. But here, about mid-May through August, I'm running a monthly preventative fungicide. And if you're in an area that has humidity and heat, anything like here, if you're not running a monthly, at a minimum a monthly preventative herbicide. Fungicide program, not herbicide program. I start rambling and I just lose track of what I'm saying. Fungicide program. Regimen on them, you're probably gonna have big problems with your grass. Anyway, a little bit of fescue, just a little bit. We'll dig more into the fungicide deal about mid-May when I start making those applications. But put a little something extra in them to boost it up, and you'll see all those. But that's it on the fescue for right now. Y'all take it easy.